Okay, let's go. How are we doing on this Sunday? Sunday morning, Sunday-ish. We finally got above freezing here again. 36 it's a whole 36 degrees, so it's nice and balmy here. So, what did we see last night? Now, I got last night the Canes. Whoops, they did it again. They went into the third period ahead 3-1 against the Avs, and the Avs scored four goals in the third period to lose the game 5-3. Just absolutely Carolina, man. I mean, I don't know how many times in a row. I know it's not completely in a row, but after everything that they've went through to give up another four in the third period, that is just some kind of something. And the Avs come in today at 31-2-7. So let's see what we got. How we doing? Hey, Colin says if there's one thing that I learned yesterday is that I gained a lot of respect for the people that help with the mascots after doing it for the first time during a game yesterday. And he had to do with a Karen. Hey, that's interesting. Got to hear about that. Hey, Bex, you were the helper for the mascot. Gotcha. Hey, Real says at the start of the Dolphin season, I said we go 7-10 with us resting starters. Looks like I was right. Feel free to ask me anything about the future. Oh yeah, you're dead right. I guess maybe HN's not going to be in today too. I know, Bex. It's wild what's going on with the Canes. Hey, Ryan. Real says Sharks fans calling Tampa dirty after the game yesterday. Everybody's dirty, right? Yeah. Colin, you're just asking for 1 point. So, yeah, let's look at this. So, the good news is if we get 2 points today, we'll be back in a playoff spot. I think I'll have to look at the games for today. Bad news is we're last place in the division again. Yeah. I mean, it's just absolute. It's just stupid. It's just stupid at this point. The games today: Canadian Stars, Penguins, Jackets, Avalanche, Panthers. The Hurricanes play again. They play the Devils. So, I don't think. I think if we win today, no, because Penguins play, right? Yeah, so we could win today and still not quite be back in the playoff spot. That depends on the Penguins game and the Devils. We have to get one of those top 3 spots. The Lightning are back on top. They've won 7. And then you got Wings, Canadians, Sabres, Bruins, Panthers, Senators, Leafs. I don't even, but between the Sabres and Leafs is a point that separates everybody. It's just, I don't know what the hell is happening here. I saw an article that the Sabres are going to be buyers instead of sellers. Beck says, I go back to work tomorrow after my winter vacation, not looking forward to it. It was a nice run. Now looking forward to it, or did you mean to say not looking forward to it? Yeah, Tampa really well. You know, they've won 7, right? What have the Panthers done? I think the most we've won in a row is 3. You know, and look, it just gives you an idea of how important these points are. In the last 10 games, we're 6-3-1. But we're in last place in the division. I mean, it's just, it's a long, long season. Brian, he's laughing about the Panthers will not get 2 points. You're probably not wrong there. Hey, Michael. Yeah, we definitely need anybody to score more right now. Right now, it's Marchand, Reinhardt, and that's about it. Hey, JC. I know, Bex. I think last week we had a chance to be ahead of Tampa. Okay, so it's gonna be Blackwood today since Wedgwood played yesterday. No, not Samuskevich, Blackwood. When I put MA into my Google search, of course. No, Blackwood is on injured reserve. I'm just looking at that. Blackwood just got put on IR with a lower body injury. So I'm not sure who we're going to have there, Colin. Yeah, Lechka, how you doing? Matthews is back to being a hero in Toronto. Only took 2 games. Yep. I know, Mike. The Avs, it's just ridiculous. It's just absurd. It's good. IDK thinks it'll be 6-0 Avs by the middle of the second. I don't know. So then who is the let's see. Who's going to be the goalie? We are going to get their third goalie today. So let's see. Who's that going to be? Trent Miner. Let's see. He has played 2 games this season. He's 24. He's got a 2.12 and a 9.09. He played 2 games for them last year with respectable numbers at 2.62 and an 8.79. He played October 23rd against the Canes in a game he just entered for the last 20 minutes. And then he started against the Devils on October 26th and gave up 4 goals on 24 shots. So I am going to assume that is who's going to be in net. He's not technically a rookie, though, because last year he played 2 games for them as well. So technically not a rookie. 24. He's not that big. 6'1", $185. He's their 7th round pick from 2019. So that's who we got. Patel says, just name Minerwood since they have Woodwood and Blackwood. Yeah. Colin, Blackwood is on IR. They placed them on IR. I'm going to read the article here a little bit. Avalanche placed Mackenzie Blackwood on IR with lower body injury. And he just played on Friday. So they said Blackwood will be reevaluated when they return home. Now this article says to expect Wedgwood to play most, if not all, of the games. So I wonder if they'll go just play him back to back again, but probably not. It's not like Florida is it's not like we're a scoring dynamo where you know what I mean? It's probably going to let him play. Craig says, kind of like the Avs are concerned with the trap game, 4-2 Cats. I'd love it. Leshka says, I really hope Pomo will have the team prepared and ready. No more celebrations. It's 2026 and we're trying to make the playoffs, damn it. I agree. Colin, I'm just going to assume that it's Miner today, but I haven't heard. Let me see if they've got. Let me see. Let me see if there's been any official announcement here. Not seeing it. Let me see. Daily, let me see. Daily face-off. I don't know if they're going to have today's up yet. It's not giving me. Let me see. I don't know if this is going to be. All I see here is it's saying Wedgwood is starting Carolina on Saturday, but there's nothing here. This is on Daily Faceoff. There's nothing here about who's going to start for the Avs today. Bling Bling, Justin Church about to be done. How was the Winter Classic game? Not good. Not good. It was we no-showed. We absolutely no-showed. Jones is not playing today. He's considered day-to-day. Bournefoot has been called up, so we're going to go with Bournefoot instead of Sabrango. Huh. Okay. I mean, oh, God. So we're going to play the Avs with Forsling Ekblad, Mikola Balinskis, Petrie, Bournefoot. Unless he's going to move Petrie with Mikola and then just run that bottom pair very, very little. But at least Jones is only day-to-day. Hey, Bex, David. Yeah, it's true, absolute, about them wearing the Winter Classic jersey today. It was planned all along. I think there's this night and one more night that they're going to be wearing them. Bournefoot might be the extra. I mean, either Bournefoot, Sabrango, like, I can't. I know who I'd rather have, honestly. As long as nothing happens to Petrie or Balinskis and we have to have a Bournefoot Sabrango bottom pair, then just run away screaming. Real. Oh God, we're gonna die. David, I don't know. They haven't told us. I haven't seen exactly what the injury was, but during the Winter Classic, right before the second period, they were showing a shot of Barkov at the glass watching the game. And there was a trainer talking to him, and he must have been talking to him about Jones because the trainer was talking to him and using his hand to say it was kind of like he got hit right in here. So I'm going to assume he got hit right on the top of the collarbone there. David says you can play with a broken jaw, but not a broken collarbone. Right. Yeah. Yeah, that was before he heard it was Bournefoot. Let's go. Oh, Jesus. You guys who weren't here right at the beginning of the stream, you know what Carolina did with Colorado yesterday, right? You guys, did you guys catch that? For those of you so the Canes went into the third period with a 3-1 lead on Colorado, and Colorado scored 4 in the third period and beat them 5-3. So good luck to us. Like, they didn't even lay down and be like, oh, well, we'll have our third regulation loss. Oh, well. Nah, man, they scored 4 in the third period. So, Real says, Carolina harder than anyone has Carolina before. It's why. David says, if our guys decided to make a stand, today would be a great day to do it. Amen. Hallelujah. Yeah. Let's just says, I'm going to have some alcohol ready to numb the pain. I'll drink while you lift. So real quick, the members stream for the Panthers and the Dolphins preview is at 3:30. And then we've got the Panthers and Dolphins, the double stream, starting at 4:15. Because we're both playing at the same time, so don't have much of a choice. I'm sure today will be more focused on the Panthers, obviously, but the Dolphin game starts first. So there's that. I guess we got to figure out the TV stuff. Well, I know that's going to be on YouTube. I got to figure it out. Might have to put on both TVs today. Damn it. I'll make Kyle do it. He'll figure it out. I think he's still asleep. I'm not sure, Bex. I'm not sure if Bob's in net or not. David says, don't think the players don't know what time it is. Hey, Derek. Yeah, I mean, look, we're in last place. Not by, I mean, we're also could win and be in the playoffs, but we're also in last place. Both those things are true. It's just impossible. It is just an impossible. I've never seen anything like it before. Yeah, exactly. At least we have the the Dolphins to distract us for this one last week anyway, right? And then, we've got all sorts of stuff coming up next week with I don't need this anymore. With the playoffs. Apparently the NFL is going to have a playoff game on Monday night too. Shine says, well, the trip to Miami has been a disaster. Not only was the game trash, but now my return flight home is canceled and I'm still here. Oh, jeez. Is it weather related, Shines? Real. Hopefully, maybe Miami will surprise us. There's a question for you. What's more likely to happen? The Panthers beat Colorado or the Dolphins beat the Patriots? Exactly, Patel. So the Lance win all Panthers in the third versus Carolina. It's just unbelievable. Who were the goal scorers? Let me look at that here real quick. I'm curious. Do we have a box score? I need to get a box score. Hold on a second. I'm curious. One of them was an empty net goal, from what I can tell. Let's see. So, where's the play-by-play? Third period. Let's see. Where's the goals? That's not giving me what I want. Why can't I just want a very simple scoring? Here we go. Okay. So in the third period, McKinnon at 109, and then Drury at 142, and then Nelson at 730, and then the empty net with McKinnon again at 1942. So the Avalanche scored 2 goals in the first minute and a half-ish of the third period to tie the game. Crying out loud. Just unbelievable. I'm just scrolling up to the chat here. I missed a lot. Jeez. All right. Mythical says, after the Avs, we have a very manageable schedule with beatable teams. Well, maybe we'll get back into our groove on the road for sure. Tell, you think it's more likely Dolphins win versus Patriots? I might agree with that. Shine says, no, apparently Delta has too many employees calling in to operate the flight. What? How does that even make logical sense? Real says, McKinnon broke his stick smashing the glass and they scored 4 straight. Good grief. Yeah, maybe Swaggy and Mackie need to start breaking sticks. I'm ready for Chucky to come back so we could get a little bit back to normalcy with some of our lines. Like at that point, we'll only be missing Barkov. Shane, your final destination is Toronto, but it was your connecting flight from Atlanta to Toronto that had not enough employees. Okay, so too many are calling out. I see what you're saying. David says, not for nothing, but nice beach day today back in the high 70s. No, we're 37, though. We're 37 degrees here. Bling, yeah, we did. We did the whole stream, and I got a bunch of videos on that. Was not. You can't show up in Ferraris in Miami Vice gear and then not show up for the game. There was a lot of upset people. We'll put it that way. Tell says, yeah, it's going to Florida is about a 30-minute ride. Oh, I see what you're saying. You're talking about the airport. Colin, you said you checked fantasy and it projects Minor as the goalie today. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, yeah, they look suave and cool, but it ain't so cool when it's 5-1, man. Bex, that's what I was hoping for. You guys probably remember this like 3 weeks ago. I was thinking Kachuk would be back for this road trip and we would kind of get our identity back. But I mean, that first game is what, Tuesday, right? If he ain't playing today, I guess maybe. I mean, eventually one of the games is going to be his first game. We need the dude back. We just need the vibe change. You know what I mean? Lechka says, agree, Jaws. When they wore the bathrobes, at least they performed. Right. Kachucking around says, Cats can't play in national TV games during the regular season. It's a fact. Yeah. Florida man with a plan says, the other night definitely had post-85 Bears vibes. Lots of show, but no go. Yeah, good point. Dolphins did what they did to the Bears that year. And then, like my dad says, he says the Dolphins lost that game, that AFC Championship game in 86 to the Patriots, because in his words, they turned their back on the old lady, referring to that being the last game at the Orange Bowl. He says, serves them right for leaving the Orange Bowl. Runwood King says, what's going on in Florida where it's against the law to rip fresh butt in public after 6 p.m. on a Thursday? What? I'm not sure I understand what you're saying, Runwood Kings. There's a lot of different ways. Are you talking about slow roasting a pork ham, or are you talking about something else? It was one year at my house for Christmas. Remember, I told you my dad is fully on the right, conservative, and my uncle's fully on the left, liberal. And they had the entire Christmas dinner. They fought over whether the food. Absolutely no stopping it. Lax, you went to the Winter Classic. Despite the game, it was a lot of fun. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure, everybody has kind of said the experience of the whole thing was a lot of fun. It's just really disappointing. Like, what's the excuse for showing up like that to play the game? It's just a shame. Austin Matthews got a hat trick against the Jets. Yeah. Well, we're tied with them for last place again. That's nice. With Jones out, 10-1 Avs, we might score 2. Kachuckin. We might score 2. You can't fart in public after 6 p.m. on a Thursday. Did you get a ticket? Did you get a ticket? Run with Don't blame me. I haven't lived in Florida in 11 years. Can't believe it's been 11 years. Is it 11? Yeah, this year it'll be 11. We moved here on Fluffy's second birthday in 2015. Shine says the experience was cool, but the game was trash, and unfortunately, my tickets unknowingly had us right under the AC vent, and we were absolutely frozen. Oh, good God. Kachuckin says, I also went to Winter Classic, and it was still fun, but the fact that the stadium can't handle a full crowd is hilarious. Shoulder to shoulder, even on the 300 level. Oh, that's interesting. Did not know that. Phil says, don't have to show the video, but look at Sportsnet on Brady Tkachuk getting clocked by Stanley. Oh, yeah, somebody had said that. Hold on, let me watch that. I don't want to show the video because YouTube is stupid. I don't want to get so stupid. Let me see. Tkachuk getting clocked by Stanley. Let me see this. Probably could find it on YouTube. Be easier. Jaws. Let's see. Let's see. All right, let me watch this here. All right, they dropped the gloves. Let me see. Boy, Brady's hurting. What happened? Oh, he's pissed, but they haven't shown it yet. Hold on. Stanley's laughing at him. Show the replay. Come on, guys. I'll be right back to the chat in less than a minute. I'm waiting for Sportsnet to show it. Tkachuk and Stanley are jawing. Stanley's laughing at him. Come on, guys, show it. There we go. There we go. There we go. Now we got a good look at it. Tkachuk, little bit of a hit. Dude, he's not even. Wow, that's wild. What? How in the hell did they give? Hold on a second. How the hell did they give Tkachuk a 10-minute misconduct out of that? How the hell did they give Brady the 10-minute misconduct out of that? What the hell? All right, let me scroll back up to the rest of the chat here. That's wild. How the hell did they give Tkachuk that? Hey, Hockey Dave says Canes imploded in typical style. Let the Avs scored 4 unanswered goals. Yep. Two goals in the first minute, 42 seconds of the third period. Unbelievable. Oh, I see, Runwood King. Someone went down a path of weird laws in the States. Watch the scrum in the Sharks Tampa game after they kept going for Celebrini. All right, hold on. Let me get back to it here. Hold on a second. Here we go. Must have been people looking for it because it's. Hold on. Let me see if I can find somebody that's just got the fight out. That's just the highlights. Let me see. This looks like. Good Lord. That looks like Panthers Lightning. Come on, camera. Get back over there. Oh, what are they throwing on the ice? That's they only showed it a couple of seconds. Real, if you find a good video on it, if you find one, because I'm not seeing one that's I see a little bit of something. What were they throwing on the ice? Was it after a hat trick or something? Oh, I see Regenda nets a hat trick. Okay, is that when it happened? I'm seeing all these weird things, man. This somebody doing a bunch of AI stuff. Let me get back to the chat. I'm going down the rabbit hole. Kachunka says, I have a large emotional hedge bet on the Avs tonight, so when we win, everyone can thank me and send some beers your way. You got it. You got it, man. Florida Man says, you guys should be playing my Bolts in the Stadium series, and the Winter Classic should have been up there in the snow. Bettman needs some better marketing people. That would have been a hell of a lot of fun. Would have been a 6-hour hockey game with all the fights. David says, what? Oh, my God. Kazuma says, do I think Chucky has surpassed his dad as the better player of the family? That's a tough one. That's a tough one. Different times. Matthew's still young. Let's see how he ages. I mean, obviously the skill set with his hands and everything is completely a different category. And the 2 cups don't hurt either. But let's see how he's had some serious injuries. Let's see what his body does the next, 3 to 5 years. Mike says, if a Tampa fan tells me the sky is blue, I'm going to argue with him just on principle. Oh, this is funny, man. It's so weird because the first however many years of the channel, at some point the subscribers was like 20% Lightning fans, and there wasn't really much animosity because we hadn't beaten them at all. And the general attitude was like, good little brother, you guys are cool. I hope you guys win someday. Now, things have changed. Hockey says, I said the Alligator Alcatraz Florida Man Bowl. Cats versus Bolts in the Glaze for glory and fights. That's actually pretty funny. That's actually pretty damn funny. The Alligator Alcatraz Florida Man. I think I know the Panthers ownership would go for that. I don't know about Tampa's ownership. Sal says, can we all agree that Matthew is the better Tkachuk versus Brady? Can we just have both? I'd take both. Still, even then, I mean, I know if you're not wanting to go by just complete numbers, like Brady's just so much bigger. Brady's so much bigger, man. it's really going to be nice to see them both on the same line in Team USA. And it's also, I mean, Brady's what? 6'4", 226. And Matthews, the little pipsqueak compared to him, 6'2", 202. I don't know about 202. I've been seeing Chucky in these interviews. He's looking so skinny. Patel says, for me, it's Keith, Matthew, Brady. Let me look at, I mean, not that it's the same. I mean, Keith's, talking about a completely different time. See, Keith and Brady are about the same size. Matthew didn't get that size. I mean, you look at Keith, he scored 50 goals twice, more than 40 goals, 2 more times. And he played for how many seasons is that? That is 10, what's that, 17 seasons, I think. It's tough. It's tough. I will say Matthew does more with less size, that's for sure. Real says, can we have both Jaws? Just have to send Mackey away. That's the one player. Yes. I will trade Mackey for Brady Tkachuk. You're going to have to send somebody else making some money. You're going to have to send Verhaeghe. If you want to send Samoskevich and Verhaeghe for Brady Tkachuk, I'd do it. I would do it. It's not going to happen, but that would be just about the only player that I'd be like, okay, within reason. Patel says, when I saw Bob without the gear, I never realized how skinny he is. Yeah, he's like, no, so Aleshka says he's not skinny. Have you seen the dude's, his calves, his legs? Maybe not upper body super skinny, but let me see if I can find a Sergei Bobrovsky in shorts. I've seen him in shorts before, and I mean, his legs are pretty skinny, Aleshka. Let me see. Maybe not as skinny as I would. I mean, no, maybe not. You might be right. That was weird. That was a while ago. That was with Frank Vertrano. I wonder if he's lost weight. I don't know. I remember seeing a picture of him at some point last year where I just remember thinking that his legs were just like really, 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 twig-like. Lechka says, to me, skinny means no muscle tone. I get that. I get that. Gazuma says, Boquist instead of Verhaeghe, it won't work money-wise. That's why I said Verhaeghe, because you're going to have to. I mean, Brady Tkachuk's contract is what? Is it 9.5 or something? What's he making? 8.2. You'd have to at least send $6 million back out the way because, we got a little bit of room the following years. So, yeah, you'd have to. It's no disrespect to Verhaeghe. I'm just looking at numbers. So even Samoskevich and Boquist, that's only 2.25. You'd still have to send out another $4 million unless Ottawa's going to eat half his salary, which I don't think that's fixing to happen. How tall is Sergei? I don't think he's overly. I don't think he's like what's he, 6'3", 6'2". He's 6'2", 180. So he's not the biggest, he's not like these new kids that are 6'6" and 6'8". Shine says, will I ever trade Matthew for Brady? No. Nah. No. I get the idea, but I wouldn't Boy, you want to talk about pissing everybody off. I wouldn't want to trade Matthew for Brady because now you've pissed off Keith. But yeah, give Brady another couple of years. What's he, 26? How long's his contract? Where's his how long is his contract? Let's see. No, I don't want that. I need his contract. It expires at the end of the 27-28 season. So that means he's got this year and 2 more seasons, right? So he's not going anywhere this year, and he probably won't go anywhere next year. The year after that, however, it's entirely a possibility at that point, right? That he's going to need a contract at some point. He'll be what, 28, 29. I wouldn't guarantee a no for that. You know what I mean? Especially by that point, Bobrovsky's $10 million is going to be long gone. Sebastian says, I wouldn't be mad at a trade to bring back Cousins. He's playing pretty good. What do I think? I think we've got enough of those guys right now. I think Cousins is kind of Greer is Cousins pretty much. Bolquist is Cousins pretty much. Like, I don't know if it'd be worth giving up assets to bring another guy in like that. Lechkin says if they traded Matthew, South Florida would be on fire. That is correct. Tell says, I know it won't happen, but if the Panthers were desperate for a goalie, could Luongo come out of retirement to play like Phillip Rivers? Nah, that poor dude. I remember watching an interview with him after he retired, and he had that hip injury. And what he said was, it wasn't that he didn't think he could maybe even play another year or two. He said that he had lost the enjoyment of it because with that hip, he said he had a 2-hour stretching and warm-up routine before the game just to be able to play. So, unfortunately, that hip was shot. He would have liked to have continued to play, but just wasn't in the card for him. Right. Is the Nick Cousins a smaller contract? By how much? Let's see. Yeah, it is. He's only on a 1-year deal. So you never know in terms of, I mean, I don't think Ottawa's not going to be making any trades right now. Let's see what happens with our, let's see what we end up doing this year in terms of trading guys. Yeah, Lamborghini's he needed to get paid though. Good for him. Yeah, Cousins is a bit more of a complete player than Lamborghini. No disrespect. I mean, Cousins has 6 goals right now. Wonder what Lamborghini has. Let's see. I feel bad for him in Calgary, though. 3 goals. So, yeah, I mean, basic 4 flying guys is what it is. Calgary's just falling off the map there a little bit. Hey, Colby. Yeah, I think it is going to be minor tonight. I think the Colorado, so that we might catch a break there. And yeah, hopefully they expended a lot of energy coming back against Carolina last night. Although it wasn't like they scored 2 quick goals in the first $1:40 of the third period. So they just refused to lose that team. I don't know. But if the Panthers could somehow get 2 points today, I will say we're even for the Winter Classic debacle, because we really had no business losing that game, and we really had no business beating Colorado right now. So if we could get 2 points today, we'll make it up. Hockey Day says Cousins would definitely improve the anti-hate for the Panthers from the already haters who wouldn't stop talking about how dirty he was. Yeah, I think he still got voted the most punchable face. I think that's where we were. Yeah, because Matthew and Brady talked about it on their podcast. So we'll see. We'll see what we're going to have to do at some point here. If we're going to upgrade at 4C or at 6D, there's going to have to be some kind of assets going back the other way, and it would have to be guys with a little bit of a salary. Yeah, that too. All right, David. We'll see you tonight, bud. IDK says, George, we're not getting 2 points today. I don't know anything. Roll, yeah, Gadjevich. We need Gadjevich back, man. We do. We need our fourth line back. But if Nosek is on the same schedule as Barkov, that pretty much tells us that we need a center. And I know people have liked what Cole Schwint was doing, but we have to be realistic. Okay? 24, so okay. But he's not played a ton of hockey. He had 3 games with us in 22, 4 games with Calgary in 24. He did play 42 games with Vegas last year, so that's a little bit of experience. And then, he played the 10 games with us and had the 2 goals. And of course, his shot percentage was 28.6. So I don't know that that's all that sustainable. I would be shocked. And his face-off percentages last year in Vegas was 50%. So if that's something that he can viably continue to do, but I would be shocked if we went that route and only had him available basically at if we were counting on him at 4C in the playoffs. Kazuma says, I feel like this might be the make it or break it month for us. 1,000,000% yes. Absolutely. Real's talking about Stenlin, but he's in Utah, right? He's not. I think we looked at this earlier in the season and saw that he wasn't playing well. No, he's in Utah. He's got 3 goals and 7 assists in the 42 games. His face-off percentage is decent at around 53.4. But I can't imagine why Utah would sell. And that's something we've talked about. I mean, they're at 41 points. Right now, the wild card is 43 points. So, and that's something we've talked about, is a lot of these teams that would normally be sellers, like the Sabres, they're not going to be selling for the most part. And so when you add that into the fact that we really don't have, the only top grade prospect that we have, if you still wanted to just consider Samoskevich a prospect, is Samoskevich. Like, there's nobody at the AHL level that's really just like, there's nobody that's where Sordiff was last year, where it was like, this guy's obviously ready to play. So we got limited assets, got cap problems, and anybody with any salary's got a no move clause. So um, Zito's got his work cut out for him, to say the least. Trade let him bring back Montour. And what was Stenlin's contract? Yeah, I think that's the other thing, right? His cap hit is $4 million. Now it expires this year. I'm trying to think of the math. Can we afford a $2 million player at that position? The question with bringing in a Stenlin at $2 million then becomes that even if you had Samoskevich in the lineup at minimum wage, would you be able to play Stenlin and Boquist at the same time and be cap compliant? I'm not sure on that. I'm not sure. I'd have to redo that math. But that's why, I mean, besides my other reasonings, that's why I don't want to trade Samoskevich, because the cap issues, we need somebody that can play in the top 9 that's going to be making $1 million or less. There's just no way around it. So I don't know if we could do Stenlin's $2 million, because it wouldn't, you'd be putting yourself in a position where the reserves that we'd end up, like, instead of being able to put Gregor in, or excuse me, instead of being able to put like Boquist in if Samoskevich couldn't cut it, we'd have to put like Gregor or Studnicka or somebody making minimum wage. Basically, it gets stupid. Shine says between the Winter Classic trip and the game this Saturday in Ottawa, spent more than $4,000. If the Cats shit the bed Saturday, I'm not spending another dime on them for quite some time. I feel you. Kazuma, I don't disagree with you about Bob. Maybe playing Tarasov a little bit more. The Dallas Montreal game is in about an hour. Yeah, go Stars. Really. Mike says it's hard to have high expectations of the team that's down so many starters and backup players who has played the most hockey in the NHL over the last 3 seasons. No doubt. There's no doubt. And, hindsight is always perfect, right? Hindsight's always 20/20. And if we, for some reason, don't make the playoffs this year, I suspect those of us that were in denial about that will look back and say, yeah, you could kind of tell, you know what I mean? But this road trip is really a make or break type of situation, because we had a nice arc going. We definitely have looked better. I mean, we lost a couple of games and we're back in last place. We also could be back in a playoff spot by tomorrow morning. So at some point, we're going to need to do what Buffalo did. We're going to need to do what Tampa's done a couple of times. At some point, we got to win 6, 7, 8 in a row and get a little bit more security, because there's just too many teams to be sitting. It's too damn stressful. And we just keep getting, it's just, like you said, they've played so much hockey, and at some point, you've lost too many guys. Yeah, you think people are expecting too much out of the Panthers right now? I mean, where were we at this point last year? Let me see. Let's see here. Where were we? How many points did we have? January 4th. No. We had 48 points this point last year. So let me share this screen because there's other things at play here. These are the standings on this day. Wait a minute. Let's go to January 4th. Okay. So these are the standings on this exact day last year. Toronto at 52, Florida at 50. Boston 44, Tampa 42, Ottawa 40, Montreal 39, Detroit 38, Buffalo 33. Now, right now, Panthers have 45 points in the 40 games. Last year, if we had 45 points, we'd still be in third place. We'd be 3 points ahead of Tampa Bay, and we'd be like, all right, we feel pretty good and secure in one of those top 3 spots. Now, I mean, Buffalo was at 33 points. Now Buffalo's ahead of us. Detroit was at 38 points. Now Detroit's in first place. Montreal had 39 points. They're ahead of us. I think this is more of the problem than where we've actually been. We were 24, 14, and 2. And right now we are 21, 16, and 3. So we're about 2-3-ish games worse than we were last year, missing Barkov, Tkachuk, Nosek, Kulikov, Gadjevich. I mean, it's really probably as good as we could possibly get. But the problem is everybody else. The problem is more about everybody else, in my opinion, anyway. Let me scroll down to the bottom here. Well, IDK, that's my point. That's my point. The East was not this tight. Yeah. Hockey Day says, other than lack of power play goals, that loss to Montreal should have been a win, and that atrocious Winter Classic game, I've been pleased with them considering maybe exceeding expectations. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Sebastian says, unfortunately, Erod's $3 million is what's going to have to go. No. Sebastian, I have a video on this channel about a week ago that goes into all of the intricacies of the trade possibilities, the cap consequences thereof, and all of that. I recommend anybody who's interested in the cap situation and what we might do watching that video, because Rodriguez isn't the problem. You have to have Rodriguez for the rest of the season, or we're dead in the water. The problem is the new LTIR rules. The roster in the playoffs can be over the cap, but your game day lineup has to be cap compliant. So I would recommend, if anybody hasn't watched that video, to check that out. It's on the channel about a week ago. Florida says, you can tell Bob needs a break. We learned Vasi's magic. We leaned on Vasi magic for how many years, and it took its toll. Exactly. Real says, that's why I'd be okay with them missing the playoffs and letting them get real rest instead of making it and losing it in the first or second round. And no doubt, the three-peat achievement would also be fantastic. So we'll see. All right, everybody, I'm going to roll. I will be back at 3:30. 3:30 for the members on the football and on this channel for a pregame for both games. And then Kyle and I will be live starting at 4:15 on both channels, because both games, we're doing both games because the NFL gave us no choice because they flexed the stinking Dolphin game to 4:25 when it should have only been at 1 o'clock. So that's what we got going. All right, everybody. Appreciate all the support. Thank you all for hanging out with me. And we'll see you again in about 2.5 hours.